Hello, storyteller, storytelling Ron. What am I doing? What's going on with For the Lord RPG? I've been doing quite a bit this weekend. I'm tired. So much work. I had to work from 10 to 5. That was exhausting. Sitting around at an Alpha Omega Con. It's a Christian Comic-Con here in Southern California once a year around September. It's done in Long Beach at a church. Life something church? Anyway, so I was there in the game room. And I only played one session with one young lady who came by for about 10 minutes. I didn't want to keep her there, but it was nice just to do it for 10 minutes. And that's it. It was rough, but there was plenty of people there. It's kind of badly designed for the RPG people. There's only 2 RPG tables, mine and then another group that was doing a D&D thing. And we talked, and they're Christians, but they saw my game and were really intrigued. So I'm going to go to their gaming group once a month and do For the Lord RPG, do some demos. So that's going to be cool because they're really into promoting Christian stuff and Christian RPGs and Christian culture in the in the geek world, and that's what we got to do. We got to keep doing stuff like that. Just keep helping churches, helping support our church, work at churches, getting kids to come to church. And we're losing the battle. The pagans have taken over. They've co-opted RPGs. They've co-opted everything that we've built in the Western culture. They want to get rid of Jesus Christ and Christianity and replace it with paganism, Islam, paganism. So when you question why are there trans for Palestine? Because they both hate Jesus Christ. Okay, it's that simple. The Bible tells us that. Why do they cheer on the murder of Charlie Kirk? Because they hate Jesus Christ. The Bible has warned us. They're going to cheer on death and murder openly, and they are. They're going to dehumanize us and turn us into white supremacists and racists and all that. So, didn't mean to rant, but we have to be open and explicit about our faith from now on. I mean, that's my point. We have to be in everything we do, in our games, in our movies, and what we want to see. And what I'm trying to get at here is that it's very fun and easy, and it feels to me exactly like D&D. My game, or whatever game we do, whatever, you play as an explicitly Christian missionary. Explicitly. No symbolism or good things or nothing. Just you are a Christian. You say Jesus Christ in the game. And you and I are not perfect. So neither are the missionary players we play. They're going to be imperfect and make mistakes and fail. Doesn't matter. The will of God is going to happen either way. But we're going to have fun, and we're going to play a game where we articulate terribly the gospel. As a player in the game, you articulate the gospel terribly, but you articulate the gospel. You use it, and you are confronted by the unbelievers in the game. And that's the point of this game, is to get you to practice and work on it and get your psyche back into a church mind, into a Christian mind, church history, but have fun with monsters and mutants and crazy action and space stuff. And I've got it so it's biblically adherent. Just to get all the way to the space, the atheists are terraforming. In the far future, we Christians were imprisoned on Earth and then nuked, which didn't kill us all. That's the timeline. And then in the future, we realize we got to rebuild Earth and then go out into space, where the atheists have terraformed everything and used genetic modification to change everything into dogmen, sharkmen, arachnoid men, mutant beasts, killer space bugs, terminators, Zerg, Tyranids, space marines, all that, Imperial. So you get all that fun stuff, but still biblical. You're still explicitly Christian. You get to go out and adventure, and you do mission work. You evangelize and plant churches, and you spread the church, like the church history, like the Acts to Revelation. It's all about being part of a church. You've got to be part of a church, and then you start your mission from there, or your ministry, or whatever it is. That's what you got to do. So go get to your church and start your ministry there. Work with others in fellowship. That's what this game is. But I am not holding back. You get everything. You get radioactive zombies. You get this dungeon crawl, ancient ruin crawl, ancient abandoned mine crawl, whatever you want. And not every game has to be about, you know, preaching or learning about Jesus, okay? You can have fun. You can have an epic 10 series arc of just going through an abandoned mine facility, you know, that's got all these infestations and stuff. Creatures and mutants and aliens or whatever, radioactive zombies. And then, you know, come back up and find a little settlement and, hey, you guys Christian? No. Well, let me tell you about, you know, we don't want to know that, you know, fight back and whatever. You know, that's my point. Okay. But I'm going to show you stuff I've been working on and stuff that's going to be happening. I'm going to start a Substack or restart my Substack and really put everything back on there and these games. So I want to figure out a way to, you know, get it into a sort of reward me with a few coins and a few ducats so that I keep feeling the you know, the need, which is the point of this all, to continue doing it. I'm going to keep doing it, period, but this is just another way of me kind of bringing it out there, putting my work and effort into it, but then getting a little bit of chump change reward. Hopefully you guys will join in on that. But I'm going to be offering a lot of stuff here because I'm using AI. I'm using it to do a lot of artwork that I just don't want to keep drawing a bunch of tokens, and I want it to be more polished than cartoony for the new setting I'm doing, which is Gothic, 15th century Paris kind of thing. So I just wanted something a little more polished than what I generally do. I do more cartoony kind of art illustration, and I need a lot, and I need it now, quickly. But using AI takes it's actually a lot of work. I get about 5 to 10 pages worth of artwork per day, if I work 8 hours, you know, on it, because these AIs are crazy, you know. It's a back and forth constant. I got to pay for it too, and I'm working on other stuff as I'm doing it because it takes them a while, so I got to go do something else, you know. But I get about 5. If I get 10 pages in a day of like artwork I want, that's a lot. Like I'm like, wow, and I think I've only been able to get that a couple times. Most of it is just a few pages a day, and I'm doing other things because I can't just sit there and wait for it. And then I got to think of other things that I need. So, but it takes work. It takes time sitting around asking for it to do something, and then you got to like think very clearly, very precisely, you know, what you want. And when sometimes I'll add something and it'll go way off, and I got to figure out what I said that made it go way off. And okay, I'm going to show you some stuff that I'm working on for a Christian role-playing game. Oh, another thing I did over the weekend is I had my pastor come with his young kids, and we played a game. And I showed him the game. And he was like, wow, this is, you know, oh, I see now, you know. The kids were totally creative. They countered many of my little tricks and traps and things that I was setting up against them. And it was a wonderful thing. And he... you know, he saw, he got it. Like he got, you know, my pastor figured out what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do, and he would like for me to start, you know, doing little games at the church with the kids maybe, and then with adults, I'd like to fellowship with them there, and do this game because we're talking Jesus and, you know, the gospel in it, and church history in it, and we're having fun fighting monsters and stuff and beasts, and I'm playing crazy pagans and stuff like that, and cultists. I get to play cultists. And then they get to counter my cultism, and I get to, you know, blaspheme the Lord, but I mean in a family-friendly, nice way, as the pagans, but challenge them with slavery and sacrifices, you know, all that stuff. And I try to keep it family-friendly. I don't want to do the real pagan stuff like they have today. But so let me show you what I've been working on and what's going to be coming down the pipeline and what I do already have. One thing that's really cool, I use Foundry, and I don't particularly care for Foundry, but it's just what I have now, what I know. I'm going to export out my worlds as a module so that you can just install the world with all this stuff and start, you know, doing your own games if you do them online. If you do them on YouTube, please, as your own ministry, but do it through your church if you do. So let me just show you a little what I've been working on here. Pagan idol, small pagan idol statue. These are things that they can find. I plop these as tokens into the maps. And what it is, and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing here. What it is when they find them, I have them roll, and I'm gonna have them roll based on certain of their character class and their certain skills. Like for pagan idols, it's for clerics and nuns, and they destroy the pagan idol, and they roll their prayer or preach, and then based off of that roll, they get a die rank result, if you know the rules, and then that die rank result then they can roll on one of these tables and see if they get some inspired die or glory points. This is how they get glory points on my game, which is experience points, is by destroying pagan idols. I'm making a new rules now where you can get glory points. Every character class can get glory points for the party, for the missionaries. The nuns can do it for if they really heal. They do their miraculous healing because they're healers. The fighters can do it the Holy Knights can do it if they do the killing blow. And then same kind of thing, they can roll to see, based on their roll, their killing blow roll, then they get to have a roll like similar to this. Similar to what you see on here, where they can get inspired die or glory points. So it's a really cool idea. I haven't written that out yet, but I'm going to. I've got it on my notes to do. But and this is a new sort of homebrew part of for the little RPG where in the Gothic setting. In the other settings I have, Dark Ages. Well, I'm going to show you guys. Dark Ages. Apostles of the Epoch, and Christians in Space. They have a different, simpler way of doing it, which is fine. Which I know. The Gothic one, I'm just kind of adding more fun rules that are nerdy. I want to nerd out, and then and just more detail. But this is my Dark Ages. And it has a campaign book, and these are all on Amazon for like $30 each. They're hardbound. I get like $2 out of it. I think $2 or $3 or $4 maybe. I don't know, something like that. But this is the hardbound. But you can get this as a PDF for free on my website. And this one is like $12.99 or something on my website. Because I'm charging you guys like crazy because that's what I do ish. Apostles of the Epoch. This one's on as a PDF on my website. And then, of course, on Amazon, it's $30. Kind of expensive, I know, but Christians in Space. This is full-on Star Wars. I don't just talk the talk, okay? I walk the walk. I have 70-ish episodes of this game that I played on YouTube with players, and we're just playing and have an epic, amazing time. And this is the campaign book. Now, I do think that the show itself is, to the watcher, because it's kind of boring in the sense of like, I don't for me, the most exciting RPGs out there, which I'm not that excited about any, but I can't watch them for that much either. But I do like to listen to mine, but we have a great time playing it, and I don't edit it or cut it down for just the fun, exciting parts of it, just because I've got to put it up and then move on to my next thing I'm working on. But we have a blast, and we've been playing now for 70 episodes. I've got, out of there's the OGs is two and a half, like 2, 3 are still the same players, and I've lost a few along the way. But I don't have any insecurity about it or anything because I know I'm a good GM. I know I put together great stories. I've been doing this for 45 years, and I've seen that's very common in games where just everyone's got their own lives they gotta live, especially today. A lot more going on, but this is, I'm telling you, man, epic stuff. And also, role-playing RPGs is a DNA thing. Like you gotta have the DNA to really stick with something for a long time. I can tell who really is into their RPGs and really fixate on it like me, or who was just a casual player and just having a good time or whatever. But or they just have some other thing they want to do, which is fine. But anyway, this is it's Star Wars, hardcore, Star Trek-y. There's like elements of Warhammer 40k in it. There's Terminator in it. There's what else? All kinds, the scary horror sci-fi you could do. But you're a Christian. You're a Christian in these things, and you are going around to different planets and finding survivors. And all of these are like 2 to 3 pages of one planet and its culture, and an encounter situation that you could do, like a battle map. And I try to keep it really. It's not about a lot of words. It's about a lot of info for each. It's really. I try to make it like very condensed info for one area. Like one planet, all the different little things, the type of map you'd have, and it's like I give you all the stats and stuff, so you can expand it out to several different storylines within that same planet, different factions. So I try to keep it so that you can create your own little world, your little storylines as they go travel around on the planets, And there's even charts on here or here to make your own planets, and you know, use the you can use my art assets that I have digitally that you can download on my website, you know, or you can make your own, because it's very basic. It's not like you have to have a ruler or anything like that. But the spaceship part is really cool. You fight. It's 1-to-1 scale. Your token in your spaceship is a battle map, and if you fight some other guy, they have a little battle map of their ship, and you can have that on the table. And you fight each other, and you blast in parts of each other's ships until one is dead in the air, dead in space. You know, then the other guy can just keep blasting away at him, kind of a thing. But it is hardcore. It's funny. I like that the players don't like space battles because they don't, you know, because it's not heroic. It's rough. It's dangerous. It's deadly. They get their ship damaged so much they gotta repair it. Like, you know. So it's been great. And they have to run, and then in the game mechanics are that they can run around while they're in battle and repair stuff too, desperately. So there's that. It's really anyway, we've been having a great time with it. We're on a little, after the 3rd season, we're on a little hiatus with a huge cliffhanger, so that because they're helping me play and playtest this Gothic one that I'm doing right now. So let me go back to that real quick, just for the fun of it. So this is like one of the AI maps that I've done. You know, it's very this is such a weird map, but I'm like, well, I'm gonna go with it. You know, if you're one of my players, you can't look at this, don't look at this. But it's pretty creepy and goofy, and it's underneath a cathedral in Paris, or on the outskirts of Paris. But let me show you what I'm doing. This is how crazy this is. This is what you're gonna be getting when I kind of get this all sort of cleaned up and finished. Here's one of the maps you'll be getting, and I looked this up. This is open license, or whatever you call it. This is this map is old enough that I can use it. It's open common license, you know. But I'm just gonna use it until someone sues me or something. But I think they've all passed away. But anyway, this is like a 16th century Paris. I would like it to be a little older than this, but I'm gonna go ahead and use this because it's just great art. And this one is just really a reference map anyway. You know, I mean, you can have actually I do have the players running around in it. Here they are. You zoom in, see that? There they are. Sister Anna, Frère, or Sir Anna, I don't know, French. I'm trying to do a little bit of French here. Lucien, Ulrich, and Ulrich is German, and Frère Gervais. Anyway, right now they're at Antoine, Saint Antoine de Champs, and then they're eventually going to go into Paris. And I'm going to be creating a bunch of maps of different creepy, you know, things in Paris. And Paris, around this time that I'm picking, 15th century-ish, 1400s, is very dark, and actually there's more fields even inside Paris, but I'm using this map, which is about 100 years later. But anyway, it's very abandoned, plague. There was a plague, and this is at the end of the 100 Years' War, and there's no king because the English king has taken over the territory. So there's all this inner house faction fighting, and this is the same period that the witches declared an open allegiance to Satan. So how's that for an incredible setting, huh? So I'm working on building this out for you guys. I'm gonna put in a bunch of info in here about the settings and the different house factions, and even the cathedral factions. The Latin Quarter over here with there's the cathedrals, but also there's going to be a lot of paganism and Satanism and corruption in the church. But you know, I mean, I'm a Christian, and this is all pretty much Catholic at this time, because the schism doesn't even happen yet. Well, it's starting to happen in Germany, I think, at this time, and the Protestants are starting to rise as sort of considered a cult. But I'm not going to really touch on that. I'm going to go for the Satanism part, the Catholic Church having difficulties rebuilding, themselves in this area. I'm gonna, and that kind of a thing. But I'm not. It's not a criticism of Catholicism or anything. It's just going to be missionaries in the Catholic Church trying to fight and quell the explosion of sorcerers, witches, and Satanism in Paris as they're trying to rebuild Paris after the plague, and after the fall of faith, kind of the struggle of faith at this period. But I will say, the witches, they were around this period. I read one of my witch history books, which kind of started the spark of this. Was there around this time was an estimate of 40 to 50,000 sorcerers in Paris. Now that could have been just a tarot card reader, but whatever. 40, and that was the men. The women are concerned even more. So almost like every area was littered with the ilk of witches, doing all kinds of things, kind of like Hollywood. you know, where they all were doing all these sorts of things. And they probably may have been going to church, but they still were doing all kinds of paganism things, all kinds of offerings to spirits, all kinds of tarot readings or fortune tellers or, you know, horoscopes or whatever. But it was massive and widespread. So how's that for, you know, a criticism? Okay, but anyway, whatever. I'm gonna make it though very Gothic, very like these maps. I'll show you a couple of these maps here. So they're at the Abbey of they're at Saint Ouen. Yeah, this is the cathedral they're in. And let me just click on some of these so you can see I did some sort of cool lighting in here and stuff. But this is the cathedral, and then, you know, and then the AI drew this, and I'm like, what the heck? I wanted isometric, but you know what? This looks cool. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna probably try to ask other AIs, or the AI again, to make this for some of the other churches as well. This is a drawing it did for the outside, which is really cool, but I can't get it to replicate this for other areas of the map. So I got lucky with this one. So that's the thing of AI. I can't get it to replicate this for other areas in the Parisian map. Then there's going to be this fun little you know, adventure in the caves that they can go to, and another one here. You know, which I'm not going to explain it too much, but right now. And then I got an epic one at the Bastille, where they're going to be going to next, because Bastille is right near with them. This is the underground area. See, nice and creepy-ish. And this is the top area. And this took me many hours, and I had to just basically say, you know what, I'll just take this one. Many hours of back and forth to get this map. And this isn't even what I want, but you know, at some point I just got to go for it. Go with it. That's AI. So that's all I got right now. I got other things to load up on here, but I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Or I mean, I'm gonna do it eventually. I'm also loading up these. It's kind of hard to see them here. So let me go through to show you what some of the creatures are that I've been able to get going here. Beasts. So these are like some of the beasts, if you can see that. There's all kinds of wolves. There's primordial. I'm really pushing the primordial. These things are infested in the sewers and back alleys of Paris, because the place is infested. It's obscure. There's a ton of catacombs and crypts and tunnels underneath Paris that, you know, we don't even know about today. So I'm definitely bringing up. And there's sort of a demonic satanic thing where things are drawn up into Paris, you know, from the underworld or whatever. I don't mind doing that at all. There's a saber-toothed tiger lion thing down there. Let's see what else we got here. We got cultists. We got creepy cultists, little part zombie, part possessed, part leprosy, plague, you know. And I'm going to add more. I'm going to add more and more. There's going to be giants, you know, ogre, giantism kind of things, living in the hidden areas of the area. Maleficarium is evil, undeadish, not undead, but sorcerers, evil knights. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of small on the screen there. I don't know how to. You know what? Let me go to my window here. Just a sec. Let me pause this. Get something up. Let me look at. This is all my folders of my For the Lord RPG. Just all the stuff I'm working on with it. All the different game settings, the different information I'm gathering. This is what I've been doing. I'm just doing it. Okay, let me get to where are they? Tokens and maps in here. Tokens. Okay, let me do the beasts again, just for the fun of it, so you can see all the different beasts. And I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going. There's more and more I want to do. And you know, I haven't even loaded all these up on the game yet. But these is what you're gonna get. You got a sewer kraken down here at the bottom. All right, you get all kinds of creatures here. Arachnoid. In a very, like, remember King Kong, the movie, the Peter Jackson one, where it shows all those different creatures and stuff? That's kind of what I'm pushing for as well, primordial looking stuff. Let's see here. Clergy. See, we got some cool clergy. This is just nice, polished looking, not something I can draw, you know. And this has taken me weeks of continual working with AI to get these things done. Here's the cultists. Nice and creepy looking, nice and polished and all that. What else? Demonic. Oh yeah, I'm getting some demons. Getting some gothic demons, and I'll be adding some more as well. And they're creepy. My players, if you're one of my players, look at this. Whatever. Giantism. These are all ogre giant guys. Oh man, I'd go back and forth AI on this guy. He kept like doing like elvish looking ones, and a little too fantastical, so I had to tone it down. He kept making them all super muscular and stuff. I'm like, don't copy all the fantasy things. Let's get a more lanky. Holy warriors. I kind of want to work. Oh, wow. Ooh, look at this. Okay, I had some older ones, some newer ones, yeah. Ooh, witches. What are they doing in here? They shouldn't be in there. Oh, that was a mistake. All right, let me pull that. Ooh, that's, I think I just accidentally moved that in there. Okay, holy warriors. Look at that. You can play these as your characters. Templar looking. Parisian looking. Working for the church. Defenders of the church. See? You can be Christian. You can wield a sword and a book. Night warriors. So more like knights. I think I should move these, but whatever. These are old. These are one of the first ones that I got done with AI, and I thought they were so cool. But then I kind of was able to describe it a little better and got the other ones. But actually these should probably move over there. But whatever. I've got to organize. However, this is the Maleficarium, which is the sorcerers and warlock looking dudes and the evil knights that have magical powers and lich kind of knights or whatever I'm going to be using. Okay. Here's me working on some maps and stuff, but I'll just kind of pass that up right now. Parisians, just, slaves. Officials, regular people, using them. Mob rioters. Definitely have them. You gotta convert them. We got soldiers and brigands. Gotta have those in here. We deal with them. These are the tokens and pagan token items and treasure hoards that they find and discover, which gives them wealth for the church, hopefully for the church, and then for glory points. And then these are some zombies. Unholy. Yep, got zombies. Why not? Infested, plague-ridden, possessed. Vermin and pests. Definitely have vermin and pests. Okay. Oh, and I'm using the whole, I just saw on social media, the rabbit that have those growths that give those horns. Actually, that's a real rabbit problem they have. It's a infestation or whatever, virus or something. So we can push that a little bit to make it crazier looking for rats and creepy vermin in the catacombs, and of course witches with their creepiness. So got that. I'm planning on doing more of it. I'm just building. I got to build out the city a little more, like more sort of plots and city encounters and places to go to. And I'm struggling with AI. I'm trying to get it to make a really cool like mansions that you're going to go explore in. And the toughest one is getting it to do like taverns and town building interiors and battle maps with that. Anyway, it's not easy. It's not easy, but when you can get something looking kind of neat like this is okay. Just working on it. So this is what I got going. Oh, let me show you this. I think is really neat. Okay, under the crypt and tomb of Saint Antoine. What I got here is when they go around, they discover these treasure tokens, right? So the treasure tokens have a treasure list, so they roll, see how high they roll, and then I roll the amount of treasure they actually find. So that's kind of a simple, fun way of just throwing in treasure for them, and it's random what they can get. And the pagan idol one here, that they can find stuff. They can get glory points, but they can also find like relics that might give them little bonuses if they roll high enough. That are sort of put there because pagans will put anything in their little shrines, right? They'll put pagan idol, they'll put a Christian cross, they'll put whatever they want. They'll even put a Christian cross and then put some manure on top of it, to make it sacrilegious or whatever, to defile it. So then, of course, if the cleric finds that, he can clean it off, and voila, they've got a relic that'll help them, give them a little extra bonus there. And the way I look at it too is like you can call them magic items, but the way I look at it is that these things are near and dear to us, or they hold a memory for us, or they give us strength because we recovered them and cleaned them off, and maybe we're going to give them to the church, or the church gives it to us. So they give you these sort of extra bonus die ranks, just like a magic item, +1, +2, whatever. Okay, so that's what that is, them finding this. So you can find items to for bonuses, and then of course the larger pagan idol statues have a more potential and more stuff. Another cool thing is that some of these finds, they're going to get. I'm going to do a secret roll called News to the Church. And then I will roll that, and then it'll be something really cool, and then I'll keep a note of that. And then when they go back to the church is going to go, hey, we have this for you. So like for instance, the first one is a massive prayer vigil plus 10 die ranks to their prayer. So they're going to have a big prayer with them. They get 10 die ranks, that's 2 d12s, you know, extra roll to add to their prayer to then hopefully give them a lot of bonuses. So I want to explain to you real quick my die ranks. Just this is the one major difference between me and other OSRs. I use die ranks, and what that is a die rank. Here, this is my little scripts here, and these will be available obviously. Is this it? Yeah. So die ranks are my way of, instead of doing plus 10 sword or plus, you know, when you get to 10th level, you got plus 10, plus 12 to every roll. It's kind of too constant. And so instead of that, the only constant number you get is your trait or ability score, like plus 3, plus 4, right? Strength or whatever. Other than that, everything else is a die rank. So if you got 1 die rank in a skill, and then you get a die rank from some blessings, and then you get a die rank from your gear, your sword or whatever, they all combine into die ranks. So that, because I love giving die ranks out for bonuses and stuff, or I love giving them stuff to upgrade, you know, like a prayer book, it's a plus die ranks, or a Bible is plus die ranks, or a sword is plus die ranks, or a cloak that gives them plus die ranks, you know, so whatever. So they get die ranks. So let's just look, here's how it looks. See, so if I'm going up in die ranks, as you can see there, it's kind of small, but if I go up, 1 die rank is a D4, right there. I can't make this bigger. 2 die ranks is a D6. 3 die ranks is a D8. 4 die ranks is a D10. So you roll a D20 plus your trade bonus, which is whatever it is, it's ability score, plus you get your die ranks, which is this. So if it's 4, it's a D10. If it's 5, it's a D12. Okay, so if you got 5 die ranks, let's say we'll just go with the fighter who has a sword. He's got 2 die ranks in his skill. He's got 1 die rank from the sword, and the cleric blesses him 2 die ranks. That's 5 die ranks, so he gets a D12. Ergo, his range of bonus is 1 to 12. So as you can see, it's going to broaden out the averages. So even a high level character with a lot of die ranks still gets kind of toned down. But it keeps the game and the characters, even at higher levels, still in the game. So right now, if a new person wanted to join my game with my space sci-fi campaign where it's 70 episodes in, and the characters have 200 glory points, I think it's 200, or maybe it's 100 something, but whatever, it's a lot. They got a lot of glory points. We don't use levels, we use glory points. If they join in that game, guess what? They can fit right in, no problem. They can totally fit in, fight the same things they're fighting. You know, it's harder, obviously, but they can still do it. This game with these die ranks really solves that. So what if you are a higher level character with a lot of die ranks? You got a +5 sword and a +5 skill rank, and the cleric has really got a lot of faith points now, so they can give you +5 or whatever. So what do? All right, let's look at this. Let's just say, look at that. I'm going up. See, it does a dice pool now. 9 die ranks is 12, and then, you know, a 5 for the first 12, and then 4 for the D10. So that's 9, right? So 2 5s, D12, D12. 10 die ranks is, the first 5 is up to D12, and the second 5 is up to D12. So you get 2 D12s. See, so let's just go to 17. Look at that, D12, 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 D6. So you get your D20, plus your trait, whatever it is. Let's say it's +4 for his strength, and 17 die ranks, which is really high. I mean, that's they don't have that many die ranks, but I'm just they've been able to get this when they do engineering upgrade kind of stuff, when they're trying to upgrade their gear and stuff, and it's a really hard number they got to get. They can get these high die ranks because they got a workshop, they got tools, they got an aid from somebody else, they get some extra high tech that they use, like, you know, high tech that has a +1 die rank itself, and you can add as many of those as you want. So they could get 17 die ranks to roll to really, you know, because they got to upgrade if they want to upgrade their laser weapon or whatever. So, you know, something like that. I mean, you can do it for a sword if you wanted to, but that's what you do. But check it out. When you roll this, you roll and pick the highest only. So let me show you how that works. So in my game, let's say you have a +4 to your strength or whatever. Let's just say fighting sword. And then what did I say? D12, 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 D6? I can't remember if that was it. Anyway, let's just say that was it. See, so this fighter gets this roll. with a D20. D20 plus their 4 strength, which is prowess. And then all these die ranks because they, you know, whatever, got all these things. So let's roll this, and this includes the D20. Now this is holy or power die is if they had a holy sword, they could get like, I could type in a D6 or D8, or whatever it is. So that's a separate die, and that makes it even more powerful, but let's just say they have a regular sword. A regular awesome master crafted sword. Anyway, there it is. Let me roll it. 14, and there's one other rule that I didn't include. So they rolled a 29. Well, you can't see it on the screen there, but they rolled a 29. The chat's cut off, but that's okay. They rolled a 29. Here, let me move it over. To my OBS here. Okay. And the 29, let me go down. So there's 29 down at the bottom there. So that was the roll. They got, you know, they didn't, 14 and 11 pick the highest, right? 25 plus the, plus 4 for the strength. Now, one other fun thing is that if any of the other rolls was a 7 or higher, it would explode. So they get even a lot more. But I'm going to roll it again, just to show you the possibility of a range. Because I know there's averages. We do have averages in this game, just like anybody else. But and D12, D12, D12 is a lot. Like that's rare. That's very high up. You know, getting all kinds of stuff. But let me just roll again to see what happens. Nat 1. 17, Nat 1. But rolled a 7 or higher, so that cancels the Nat 1. So that's a fun thing about this dice pool. And there was a 7 or higher, so they get to add the 9. So it turns out to be 28. Even though they rolled a Nat 1. But let's do it again. Let's see if I can get anything low. But you know, again, D12, D12, D6 is really high. I've only seen it when they do you know, engineering stuff. Which makes sense because it's consistent. 35 plus a 9, 44. So they actually rolled a 44 on this one. All right, one more. I'm trying to see if it'll roll a low number, which it technically can, but it's obviously going to be very hard. I rolled this. Oh, so that's a 18. You know, 18. All right. Anyway, that's a range, 18 to 44. Okay, so hopefully they get those kind of numbers when they start finding these treasures and looking at them. And this here is kind of cool. This item is a book of prayers +1. So if they can combine it with other book of prayers, they will that'll add to their prayers and their prayers and their preaching actually. Guess what? You can find in here a Bible. That's right, because we're a Christian role-playing game for crying out loud. And yes, there's a demon in here. Of course, there's a demon in here, and there's the occult, and there's a beast in here. There's a crazy, scary rat beast in here, and lots of small rat beasts. And there was a witch in here they killed. What did they do with her? They got her tied up over here, and she threw poisonous magic at them. And now they're down here trying to deal with some rats. Rats are next. Okay, so and these are their character sheets. Oh, I'm updating their character sheets, but their character sheets are gonna be new anyway. All right, so this is and you can use your own PDF character sheets and load them in here. So that's great. I got the module there that does that now. So this is my game. This is a Christian role-playing game. If y'all look on my channel, there's the full-on sci-fi campaign going on. I did some Dark Ages stuff as well. I have a post-apocalyptic one I'm trying to get started at my church, which I think is going to happen soon. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to be doing some other ministries at my church to get like an open mic night probably, although it's going to be during the day. Open mic day, a open mic for Christian comedians and family friendly. So I'll be doing that at the church at some point. They really like that idea. I want to do a swing dance club on Saturdays and a ukulele club on Saturday. So I'm at your church. Build up your church. Get people to come to church for community, for fellowship, and then in these groups, formulate in the fellowship a strong bond of people who want to do things together in evangelism and missionary work. So don't think that you have to go alone. You shouldn't go alone. And don't think that you have to do things that you don't want to do at church. You need to do what you want to do joyfully. And it needs to be joyful. The Bible says that you should be joyful in whatever you're doing. Now you should have an attitude of joy in helping the church, but you should also pursue things that you are joyful to you, because you'll do better at your church if you're doing things that you enjoy. So there's an amazing, the Bible and Christianity has given you and me an amazing freedom that was never offered to pagans when they gave their offerings to the temple. When they gave the offerings to the temple, they were slaves to the temple. They were slaves to each other. They were in conquest and war and manipulation and hatred and mockery and whatever, and derision. But as Christians, we have the gift of how we serve the church is a gift from God, not from the pastor or elders. So whatever it is that you do at your church, you decide based on the gifts you have from God. So it's really your movement in the church, you deciding, with the will of God. I'm just kind of being simple here, that you move forward in the church how you want. So don't think that you have to do what the church people tell you to do. Try to help out, try it out, but don't think that you have to do everything they do. Try out the soup kitchen. I know it sucks. Try it out. See, maybe you'll like it. But if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. Say, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not for me. Feel a little guilty, but that's fine. You got to be able to do what you believe in, what you're joyful about at your church. Don't be selfish. Don't be too selfish and arrogant and all that. But, do things that you think will help the church, and also allow the church and the people, men of the church especially, and the women, and the fellowship, refine you as well. Teach you patience, teach you fellowship. So you're not arrogantly doing a ministry or whatever at your church. Your church is supposed to keep you even keeled, to help refine you. Okay, so that you're not just a belligerent Christian doing, this is my ministry and I'm going to do what I say, you do what I say, and the Holy Spirit told me to do it, but you better do what I say because the Holy Spirit told me to. The church is there so that everybody's refining each other and keeping each other humble in what we do and patient in what we do. Okay, so join a church, check out this game. I'm going to do a Substack, I hope, soon. I'm still kind of figuring it all out and just kind of working on this Gothic thing right now. I want to get it a little more solid with the Gothic thing and the rules and they're the same rules as Dark Ages, but I just adding these extra fun things here. Just having fun, and I'm very grateful. I'm very blessed in my life. I live in Hollywood though, which is kind of sad. It's just terrible here. Human feces everywhere on the block, on every block. I walk by it, walking my dog. All the stores and shops are closed. There's a few places to go and stuff, and I'm hoping, with the Trump effect, that it will kind of lead into California. But man, the Democrats here are just so wicked. Why am I not surprised? I should not be surprised. I just gotta hunker down and go to church and try to change the culture back to a sensible culture. Anyway, all right, in the game of life, everybody, roll holy dice. It's time for me to take a ukulele break. All right, see you.